Hey everyone, it's Amanda. Thanks for stopping by. I did some Cricut cuts with the Serenity Collection and I just wanted to play, and instead of doing the blues in that, I thought I would play with some purples and pinks. So I'm just doing a fast forward video of what I do to create add some dimension and interest to the flowers. In this case, I was taking an old ink called Hydrangea, really old ink, just more of a rich purple, and inking the edges of all of the flower pieces. So I had started with lilac, wisteria, and I don't remember the other color. If I find that later, I'll add it to the video. And oh, it was just lilac and wisteria, but I used the second side of the wisteria so that I had a dark purple or a darker purple and then the lilac color. So to kind of help unify those colors, I chose the hydrangea ink and just added it to all the edges. So here I'm showing you that the leaves, which I absolutely love this leaf, I think I'm going to use it a lot. By inking it, the one on the right has ink that I've brushed on it, and the one on the left doesn't. And the little cuts where the Cricut goes and kind of stops and turns around and changes directions, you can see the white core of the Close to My Heart cardstock. So I just wanted to show you that it really does make a difference. Sometimes it feels like, oh, do I have to do all of this? But it just gives it depth. So these are the things that I cut out: the flowers, the stems, the kind of grassy wheat things. I am loving those. So now that everything's inked and for the most part glued together, I don't think I've glued all of the flowers together yet. I'm just going to do some shaping of the leaves. And I do that either with my fingers or with the stylus again, or sometimes I'll even roll it on the stylus or on another more narrow like pencil thing if I want a tighter roll. So there's so many different ways to shape the leaves, and it's really, for me, a matter of trial and error depending upon how big the leaf is and what look I'm going for. So here I'm rolling the edges, and all of them are going to be a little different. If you want to just jump ahead and see what I did with the results, I ended up getting 11 cards plus one corner sprig that will go on a scrapbook layout because it's so big and beautiful. The other thing that I'll point out later with the cards is the center of each of those, I'll call them like the rose leaves, and then also the big leaves, they have the centers cut out. I actually saved those centers, and after I made my little bouquet of flowers and leaves, I stuck those in kind of like a greenery, like a filler, fern, or like baby's breath is what florists use. It kind of gave that kind of feel to it. So you'll see that later, but I just wanted to point out that I did save those. I didn't ink the edges of those because that would have just been crazy. You might have been able to spritz them, but I don't think otherwise you're going to see the whites on them. And it's fine. I thought they looked good. So just shaping all the leaves, I'll go through. Oh, these leaves, you just kind of curl them up and then you turn it over, and now this is the front, and you just kind of go down I just go down the center stem, and it just gives it some nice shape and dimension. So the ones with white on the back is a gold cardstock paper, and I'm just rounding out the balls, and you can kind of see the one that I didn't do yet was very flat. And on this flower, on the yellow, I actually do a pop dot dimensional in there so that it truly has some height to the center of the flower. And then you just build these layers, outline all of the petals from the back, turn it over and do the center from the front. And then again, you're just gonna line those up. And you can put dimensional tape in between all those layers. You can put glue dots, which will give them different layers. If you use a liquid glue, it's a thinner glue, but you can see the difference between the right and the left there of you gain some height just by shaping them. So this is the first flower, and you can kind of see that the ferny thing sticking out, my repurposing of the leaf centers. And I just had fun. I used the dry embossing folder to give some texture. I ended up with 4 of these rose flowers because that's what I had, and each one of these kind of hibiscus flower ends up being a little different on the card. And I was just using up scraps and having fun. So I think that's what we need to do, is, especially in California, we're still in a safer at home. They just lifted it for the whole state, but we're still safer at home. If you haven't followed me yet or subscribed, please do that and have a blessed day. Thank you.